Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to NGC Notary. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a follower or a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. Today, I have a seller's package coming up, and I was thinking, hey, what better time than now to go through some documents with you guys and go over it and let you know a description on basically what I will be doing with the signer in front of me. My package is a seller's package, and it is 15 pages long. Yay! Usually seller's packages are between 15, and I think the most that I've ever had was 50 pages, I think. But I'm going to go through. Of course, I'm not going to show you the documents because they have sensitive information on them regarding the signer's information as well as some of the buyer's information as well. I'm going to go over and let you know which each document is. This is a Virginia property. So of course the documents would be based on what Virginia does for their selling their property, which is a little different than Florida does for theirs. So let's get started. So this first page we have here are just instructions from me, from the signing company, letting me know what they want me to do and basically what not to do. We do know that we've been having a lot of notaries who have been a lot of companies who are having a lot of issues. So because of that, you're gonna probably start seeing more and more instructions, which I am seeing out here. Next, we have our shipping label, and we're going to FedEx. So we're gonna get that handled as well. Next, we have here is the general warranty deed. Basically, I would give it to the signers and they would go over and look at the information, make sure that the address is correct as well as the legal description of the property is correct. If it is, then they'll go ahead and sign the document. This is one that I also have to notarize. So I would fill out my venue. So I would fill out the state. I would fill out the county. I would fill out the other information. I would sign it, and then I would go ahead and put my seal on there for the general warranty deed. In the state of Florida, most properties, if it's someone that is selling their property in the state of Florida, it requires 2 witnesses. For Virginia, this does not require any witnesses. It just requires for me to notarize this document in front of the signer once they sign this document. Next, we have the settlement statement. This settlement statement is 3 pages long. Of course, I will put it in front of the signers and I will let them know this is your settlement statement, which is also considered your ALTA statement, and it will give you the debits and credits of the entire transaction. I will then go over on their side, which is the seller side, go down and, they could read it if they would like. I will go over it if they would like. And then at the bottom, of course, like everybody wants to know, we want to know what their net proceeds are. I will make sure that that looks correct based off of what they've agreed in a contractually agreement with everyone. And if that is, and if that's correct, then they'll go ahead and sign page 3. Which is saying, hey, we agree that all of the information based off of the contract and on the settlement statement is correct. This next document we have here is a correction agreement / limited power of attorney. Basically, it just states that, as you know, with anything, that if there's any errors found, that they would help them to correct those errors. So if they agree to that, then they will sign and date, and that's what they would do with that particular document there. Next, we have what's called the owner's / seller's affidavit. And basically, I would give this to the signers and say, listen, this is basically just stating that you are the current owners of the property and that there's no judgments, liens, encumbrances against you or the property, or there's no unpaid improvements to the property that you're aware of. If they agree with that information, then they can go ahead and sign. This also needs for me to notarize it here, so I'll go ahead and put in my, when my commission expires, put in the date, sign it, and put my seal on it, of course, all in front of the signers. Next, we have a Virginia affidavit, and basically this affidavit would be for the signers in order to state what their current resident status is, being in Virginia, being that this is a required Virginia document for them. Once they choose the appropriate one, then they will sign the document. This document also needs to be notarized, so I will put my venue, which is my state and my county. I will put the date. I will put when my commission expires, I will sign it, and then I will put my seal or stamp on it in front of the signers. Once that's done, move on to the next document. The next document is a Virginia Department of Taxation non-resident real property owner registration. It goes along with the document that they just filled out regarding their resident status for Virginia. They will look over this document to make sure everything is correct. They will fill in the areas that need to be filled in, and then if they agree with the document and if all of the information that it states, then they will sign and date. I don't need to notarize this document, so then we will move forward from there. And this is a 2-page document. Next, we have the Fir PTA Certification. Basically, this is just stating that the property is not being sold to a non-foreign entity or entity outside of the United States who does not have United States citizenship. The signer needs to place some information in. Once they do that, and if they agree to all of the rest of the information listed, then they will sign it. I also need to notarize this document, so I will place my venue in, I will place the state, the county, I will place my date, I will sign it, put where my commission is, and then I will go ahead and stamp my stamp or put my seal in front of the signers. Next, we have your 1099-S, and basically this goes to the IRS based off of the sale of the property that they're selling. The signers would look it over. As long as it looks okay, then they agree to everything that's listed, then they can go ahead and sign a date. I don't need to notarize this document. Then once they sign a date, then we'll move to the next document. Next, we have what's called the Borrowers and Sellers Authorization. Basically, this is just stating that the recording services company that they are using, that the that the sellers are using, that they agree and that they understand that they are completing this service at a fee, and that fee is listed on the settlement statement, and they agree with that fee that's listed on the settlement statement. If they agree with all of this information, then they would sign, date, place their information on. I do not need to notarize this document, so once we ensure that the signers have their information listed, then we can move on to the next document. The next document is the disbursement of proceeds. Basically, this is how they want to receive their documents back, and the signer would determine whether or not they wanted to, receive a wire, a check, or whether or not they want to do something else with it. Once they put that information in, they're also asking for the sellers to put their forwarding address in. So once they put their forwarding address in and they sign, then I don't need to notarize this document. So once I do that, and that was the last document within my package, what I would do, and I forgot to mention this, that before we even get started with this, I of course would verify the signers through their driver's license, state ID, passport, and then we will get started with the signing. So once we're finished with the signing, I would then let them fill in my journal basically stating, hey, she came and she signed the documents, signed and notarized the documents in front of us, and then that would be it. I will come back. I do have scan backs on these documents. I will come back, scan these documents, upload them to the portal of the company of the signing service who hired me to complete this signing, and then I'll go ahead and drop those documents off at FedEx for them to be shipped off and received, so this particular assignment can be closed out. That is the end of this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this helps. I'm also going to do a video about a loan modification because I have a loan modification coming up as well, and I'm going to go through those documents as well. It's probably going to be a short video because loan modifications are pretty easy and it's not that many documents that I need to complete either. But let me know if this was helpful to you guys, and if you would like me to come on, like when I have a refinance, or if I have a purchase, or if I have a debt settlement, and come on and say, hey, these are the documents that are in here, these are what they are, these are whether or not they need to be notarized or not. And let me know, because I'm looking to give you guys content, education, experiences on what I'm doing now and those that would help you and me in the future. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and until the next time, happy stamping and signing. Have a good one, you guys.